Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I guess randomly, if you want to call it that, decided to rewatch and now review Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 is a film that came out back in 2001. It was directed by Steven Soderbergh, and the plot. The plot is we follow Danny Ocean, played by George Clooney, who's literally just getting out of prison. And so what does he do? As soon as he gets out, he decides to rob some of the biggest and most wealthiest casinos. And so he has to put together a group, put together a team of some of not just his friends, but the best people for the job. And this mission, this plan, this heist is nearly impossible. What I think of Ocean's 11 is I really enjoyed this movie. I do. Now, it wasn't until just a couple of years ago did I realize or find out that this is a remake of another film with the same name. So I've never seen that one. Maybe anybody in the comments below can let me know how the original is, if it's worth checking out. This, though, you look at this plot and you look at this whole, like, we're going to do a heist, we're going to rob a casino, we're going to do everything that we're doing. For the most part, fairly straightforward. It's not something that's never been done before. I think the biggest thing that works about this movie is the cast, is the characters, is the charisma that's, let's be honest, just oozing off screen, especially guys like George Clooney. How can you not instantly gravitate to George Clooney? It's amazing that him, along with a lot of other actors and characters in this film, come off likable, come off like people that you want to root for, that you want to succeed in committing this big, huge, ginormous crime. Something that, look, they don't hold any bones about it. They don't hide the fact that they are criminals. They don't hide the fact that they will do some bad things and things that whatever it takes to get done. Look, they're not openly killing people or doing anything that crosses the line, but they are willing to lie. They are willing to cheat. They are willing to do things that I applauded the movie for not being afraid to shy away from certain moments like that. George Clooney, especially, he's a guy who he was married to Julia Roberts' character Tess, and he did some things that really put her through the mud. She had no idea about his history, his past, and how he ended up in prison, and that becomes a thing where you feel bad for her. She's very upset, and she's very screwed up. She's now moved on and dating Andy Garcia. What do you know? The same guy who just so happens to own the casino that Clooney wants to rob. Coincidence? I think not. But let's look at some of the other characters and cast. You have Brad Pitt as Rusty. I really enjoy Brad Pitt, and a lot of movies that he's in, he hardly ever really fails when it comes to that. But I enjoy him. He's the one who even calls George Clooney out on his BS as far as being all about this heist and not screwing it up and wanting to be there for everyone else. Matt Damon plays Linus, who the way how he comes into the group is quite amusing. He's a pickpocketer. George Clooney instantly sees him and goes, "Yeah, I gotta have him on this team." I do, and I think a lot of these casts and characters, a lot of these actors stand out in their roles. Sure, there's a lot of people. I mean, you have 11 just in this group alone, never mind Julia Roberts, who, let's be honest, she's here to be hot and be pretty and be the woman that George Clooney desperately wants to get back with. So there's that. But, like I said, some of the other actors, you have Don Cheadle, who is very amusing. It's funny to hear him with this British accent because it's like, I know he's not British. And I remember when I first saw this movie, it was very jarring and very weird to hear him do the accent. But once again, he's good. Bernie Mac, I found enjoyable and funny. Elliot Gould stands out. Casey Affleck, who, in this whole Me Too movement or Speak Out movement, I don't know. I guess it's hard not to think about some of the things with him, but I'll just say this: his character was amusing, a little goofy. The back and forth that he has with Scott Kahn, I guess, for me, never gets old. Carl Reiner, who just passed away recently. I watched this movie the same day I found out that Carl Reiner passed away. I'm pretty sure it was the same day that he did pass away. So it wasn't that I watched this in honor of him or in tribute to him. I just so happened to feel like watching it. And then I went online and said, "Oh wow, look, he just passed away." I like that his character was the old guard, was the guy who's been around, who has done this quite a few times, but you didn't really know if he was up to the task of doing one last job. Andy Garcia, like I said, he's the owner of the casino. He has the pseudo love triangle with Clooney and Julia Roberts. Was there really any other doubt though who Julia was going to end up with? Andy Garcia, who, hey, good looking guy, I guess. But you have George Clooney. I mean, come on. You knew where that was going to go. This elaborate plan, I always get impressed, and I always enjoy seeing certain heist plans get tasked and created. I think a lot of this movie relies on the fact that we don't know what each and every plan is, plot point is, because it's a reveal, it's a surprise. It's that how are they going to pull this off, and yet somehow they do it. There are moments where they are talking about what they're going to do. They are talking about their plans. They are talking about this heist and certain gadgets or certain situations to where it all sounds like gibberish, mumbo jumbo. It all sounds like things that I'm like, okay, this sounds smart, so I guess I'm going to go along with it. I guess I'm going to believe them that they could pull this off. But it's really seeing if they can do it. It's seeing if they can pull this off, or seeing if they get all of their asses caught. It's a good movie. I enjoy it. I think it still holds up. I think it's it relies on the characters, it relies on the actors and their chemistry, and I think they all have good chemistry. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Ocean's 11. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!